pay for all these softwares, all these things. So,
But the reason why I say it was horrible is because I tried. The moment I got my license, first of all, it took me like 4 tries to get the license. I wasn't paying attention.
Maybe it was the math section.
The math section, I'm pretty sure. So I had a client. I showed him like 10 houses. By the end of it, he's like, "Is there any more?" I'm like, "No, that's it. There's more houses. That's it."
this is a
And
client that
he
I
was staring at
shared,
me.
and I took him, like training day, to like show him these houses, and I'm driving, and then he's like, they want to see more, but the guy asked, "Hey, do you have any more?" And he says, "No, there's no more." And I was like frozen, and then they're like, "Oh," I told the clients, "Hey, cool, he's new, he doesn't know that there is more." And then he wanted to be. I'm a listing agent, he said, so he started doing the listing side as well.
Mm-hmm. Did you do well on the listing side?
I sucked at that as well. The first time they canceled on me, I went and grabbed my phone. Why'd you
man.
cancel? And that was horrible as well. So then I realized that I sucked at listings and at showings. So I'm like, what is there for me? There's nothing. Like I suck at this. And then we stumbled onto wholesaling.
So when did you start the realtor side?
6 years ago.
6 years ago,
Years
and then
ago.
you started 2 years after that.
Yeah.
And then when did you guys start wholesaling or flipping, however you got into it?
So we stumbled onto it by accident. He wanted to build a mansion on top of a mountain.
Mhm.
And he bought a lot like in Levine area for like 30 grand or something. And meanwhile, somebody was offering him like 50 grand. So he's like, but how do I do it? Like, don't worry, I'll help you out. He was wholesaling it, not even
I didn't
knowing.
even know what it was.
He didn't even, he's like, I didn't even pay for it, and I got money at the end. I was like, how do we do that? We started Googling.
Yeah.
And wholesaling came up, and we're like, okay, well, I'm going to give that a try.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do more of that. And that's when we stumbled onto like Real Estate Disruptors, Max, and all
So
that.
I think Real Estate Disruptors was the first event we went to.
That was the first event where we
Yeah.
first met you.
I recall Ramon's like, "Hey, I got this event," and I looked at it. I was like, "Well, I don't want to go because I don't know what wholesaling is. 1st of all, it's not traditional real estate." So he's like, "There's gonna be food," and I was like, "Okay, I'm in." So
That was the catch.
I recall the food, and then
Dave and Buster's.
Dave and
Dave and
Buster's in
Buster's.
Tempe. Yeah.
yeah, so I was excited about that. And then once we got in there, I'm like, I know a couple of these guys here. They're realtors. I'm like, okay, so it might be pretty cool.
It was such an amazing event for me because to find so many people speaking the same language that I wanted to learn, I was just like in heaven. I'm like, oh my God, every single person. There's so many people that were new as well. So
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was left out or like I wasn't worth as much as everybody that knows everything because there was new people there. So I'm like, hey, I was making connections with everyone, trying to, learn as much as I could. And it was just great. It was amazing, I think. And then we were waiting always for the other one. When's the next one? I haven't
Yeah.
seen the invitation.
Yeah, we used to do those every month. So, how long? So you did the first one by accident. Tell me about did you immediately do another wholesale deal, or was it like some time transpired before you figured out what was how to repeat it?
Well, for Ramon, I remember we wanted to do a fix and flip, and
Mhm.
he ended up wholesaling like one of your first or second wholesale deals to me. So he's like, "Hey, I'll sell you a deal at wholesale." So I think he locked it up too high
Mhm.
because we didn't make any money on that. We actually lost money, but that was one of his first that he sold to me, and we got further into the wholesale game for that.
We were all over the place, man. We were at the court steps at some point. We're out there just waiting, trying to pick something up with one of our buddies let us borrow a $10,000 cashier's check
Mhm.
that trusted us. Chava, saludos.
Yeah.
That guy, he probably funds most of the wholesalers that you know.
Mhm.
He's a
Sick.
Mexican dude that does construction.
Yeah, he's good.
He actually used to work with Pace for a while. He used to do all his projects.
Mhm.
So pretty cool guy. He trusted us because he used to hire our band a lot, and so he gave us a check for $10,000. We met him at a Applebee's.
Yeah.
Hey man, we need a cashier check for 10 grand. We're gonna go to the court steps. We're gonna try to get a deeply discounted deal, and we'll cut you in. You fix houses. Like, let's go. He just gave us a check the next day.
I
Sure.
was asking him, where are you gonna get this money? Like, nobody's just gonna give you
I'll
$10,000.
find a guy that has money.
You found a guy.
And so,
How
Really?
did you find that guy? You said just
well, he was renting me a house,
okay.
but also he was renting me a house because he used to hire the band to play for.
He used to
Parties.
hire us.
We were his
as
band for his parties.
He liked
But
the
did you
music.
know he had money?
We didn't know he had money, but we would always see him fixing houses and this and that. So we're like,
We
maybe
assumed.
he has a little bit of money, and then
Yeah.
he helps us fix them too. And
Well, because I like what you did here, right? And it sounds like really obvious when you listen to it. But there's so many people like, I don't know where to get money from. Where do I go? Right?
Yeah.
They just assume it's like other people don't have money, so you just
we didn't know. Well, okay, so actually, yes, this is how we found out he had money. we were trying to help his dad buy a condo for like 30 or 40 grand. And so the realtor was like, hey, we need proof of funds. And so, hey, we need proof of funds. And he sends us a picture of his bank account, multiple six figures. I'm not going to say this the right amount, the exact amount, multiple six figures in there. And I'm like, oh, this guy has money. And so that's how we put two and two together. Then it's only 10, man. We'll try to find you a good deal, blah, blah, blah.
So you guys overpaid.
We overpaid.
So how that deal work out?
So we wholesaled the deal to him for $5K more, and we made $5K up front. And then when we sold it, we lost $5K, but we were like, we're not gonna screw this relationship up over $5. So we asked everyone for money, and then we gave him back $5 that we had lost because we were losing money. We gave him back his $5
and he made
that we were losing, and then we gave him another $2,000 that we came up with, so he could be like have a good experience. We're the ones that lost. But then he trusted us again, but now we're more careful. Needless to say, we're like losing money left and right, trying to learn. We're like, one of these days, we're going to make something. The second deal that we did, I made $180 when everybody split the profits at the end.
In your time? I mean, you lost all your time.
I spent a month cleaning a hoarder house that we bought at an auction.
Yeah.
The worst experience of my life. I paid money for people to clean it. And at the end, when they gave me my cut, he transferred me $180. But we didn't lose money. Well, I mean, I guess I lost kind of money for the cleaning.
So, like, what was your initial reaction when you got the $180?
I was kind of happy. There's money coming in, but it was still...
It's better than zero.
Yeah, because we had to go to court and this and that, and it was just a long experience that would never end.
I think that's where I sharpened my skills. I made sure I learned the whole process of flipping. Where do I get the container bins? Who do I call? The courts. Cleaners. We went through the court process with the lawyers. So we're just sharpening our skills. I mean, we learned about probate, all these different things. We lost money all the way, but I think once we really needed those skills, they kicked in, which was all last year and the year before. That's when we were our sharpest.
Well, I think,
were you guys discouraged? I mean, in this process,
we were super discouraged, but I think now it's a blessing in disguise because a lot of people say fail often and as fast as you can. And Lord knows we were failing super faster than anybody we knew because everybody wins except us. And then we went in another flip with another cousins. We lost again. So every single experience was a loss, but it was a different type of loss. And he had like 50 grand saved at some point.
Yeah. From
the wholesale deal that he did, and we lost it in another flip. All his money was gone. He lost the whole 50. So we're like losing left and right and learning. And I said, okay, yeah, we're the only ones that lose at everything. But guess what? Once we win, we're gonna be the only ones that win too. You know, fast forward. 4 years, like we did $6 million last year.
Yeah.
You know, when before we were the ones losing left and right, and nobody would lose but us. Nobody wanted to lose. Our family, oh, too bad that you lost, but I need my money.
Yeah.
So we would always lose. Like we were the biggest losers, and now, like I could say, okay, well, we lost at the beginning a lot, but also right now at the end we're winning a lot.
And the thing is that you become sharper since you're betting more on yourself. If Ramon was picking up 12 houses, 15 houses, 20 houses. Just in 1 week, we'll pick them up, immediately put them through the ringer of let's list them, let's wholesale them, let's do whatever we have to do ASAP.
Yeah, I think the biggest loser also has the biggest experience.
Yeah.
Because you have to go through all the scenarios, and some people only lose once, but that means that they only learned once. But if you go through every single horrible scenario possible, you're gonna have to be so much more experienced.
Yeah, our first flip fell out of contract. Was it 7 times?
7 times.
7 times.
I was painting the tree at one point. I thought it was the tree. So I grabbed paint, normal paint. And I was painting the tree white around to make it look like a park.
It was nice.
I saw a video of me at midnight trying to get out of that deal, painting a tree.
Vincer came around there, which is canceled.
Horrible.
And then, okay, well, let's...
Is it the tree? I was painting the tree at midnight.
So we picked up a lot of skills to be able to make sure things sell first time. We just hire an inspector before we even list. Everything's fixed. We usually hire the inspector that I hated the most, that would bring up anything, like any small item. That's my guy for our flips.